Welcome to Danny Designs. I'm Daniel100, and today I'm going to talk about the Gears of War 4 multiplayer and season pass. So before I get into it, I want to say that I am a big Gears of War 4 fan, a big fan of Gears of War overall, the series, and my criticisms and my thoughts and opinions here might sound harsh, but this is not a rant. It's not intended to be inflammatory or damaging or spiteful or anything like that to the developers or the people involved. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Gameplay for a lot of people that are unfamiliar with Gears of War will be mostly the same, but for veterans such as myself, Gears of War 4 really subtly changes a lot of the formula, improving lots of things. 60 frames a second multiplayer is a welcomed addition to the Gears of War franchise. The silky smooth frame rate might be a little odd at first, but you quickly get used to it. Animations are smoother, actions are smoother, and the action flows at a steady pace. At its best, Gears of War is a violent ballet with a few new game mechanics sprinkled in to keep things interesting. This time around, we have not just the mantle kick, but the yank and shank. The yank and shank was something I was skeptical of when I first played the Gears of War 4 beta. I wasn't able to really utilize it effectively or at all, so I never really got a firm opinion on it. But now that I've had the game in my hands for the last couple months, I can say confidently that I believe the yank and shank is a great addition to the multiplayer. It's something that allows you to play offensively while in cover, and it pairs up nicely with the mantle kick. At first, I was a little confused at how to activate the yank and shank. The initial confusion from the yank and shank comes from the button prompts. To melee an opponent, you press the B button. To perform the yank and shank, you must be in cover, press forward and X to grab the opponent, and once you've pulled them towards you, press the Y button to execute the yank and shank. But this doesn't make any sense because the B button is the melee button. After years of playing Gears of War, it's been beat into my head that melee is the B button, which is why I was initially confused on how to perform the yank and shank. The addition of the yank and shank was a big update to the gameplay, but here's some of the changes you might not have noticed. The melee speed and damage has been reduced, the snub pistol damage has been greatly reduced, you can only have one grenade tagged at a time. Players can now reload their weapon at any given time to achieve an active reload. Spotted enemies will be highlighted when you use attack comm, and a player with a fully revved chainsaw cannot be stunned. Following suit with a lot of online multiplayer games, Gears of War 4 now introduced leagues in their game modes. The leagues are as follows: Bronze, Silver, Gold, Onyx, and Diamond. Players will have to complete a set of placement matches per mode, and once they complete those placement matches, they are then put into a league. From then on, they will be placed in games with players of similar skill. I think the system is a great idea, although on occasion I am paired up with players that are a few leagues above mine or a few leagues below mine. There's no indication on how you qualify for a league. For example, I've been in the Silver League for months, but then suddenly I was in the Gold League, and then after a couple games I was back down to Silver. So how did I get into the Gold League? Was it because I had a 5-game win streak? Why did I get demoted to Silver again? Was it because I lost a couple games in a row? Unfortunately, quitting is prevalent throughout this game's community, and on top of that, games often start completely unbalanced, and there's no bot backfilling in the ranked modes. If you're playing competitive, you're pretty much out of luck if somebody quits or the game starts without a player. And they have instituted bans, but I feel like it's a little too late now. Unfortunately, this hasn't deterred people from quitting from these competitive game modes. Personally, I'd rather have insane level bots be added to the game. I feel like having a bot would be better than having no one at all. Not to mention, unlike my teammates, bots actually play the objective. Another new addition to the game is the idea of opening up booster packs. This is not entirely new, as Gears of War Judgment did this as well. The booster packs is something that I am kind of iffy on. Players acquire booster packs by purchasing them with gold coins or credits. Players earn credits as they play. If you're used to playing a game like Overwatch, they constantly give you booster packs for leveling up and playing the game. With Gears of War, at first initially, it was really difficult to get booster packs. Aside from the golden coins players unlock, there's also a new currency called Scrap. Scrap can only be created by scrapping duplicate cards that you have. For example, if you have two of the same skins, players are encouraged to scrap the duplicate so that they may use that scrap to craft new cards or craft desired cards. Unfortunately, the scrap they give you is abysmal, and if you want to craft a character, you're talking about hundreds if not thousands of pieces of scrap. For example, a legendary character is 2,400 pieces of scrap. That would take 480 common, or 120 rare cards, or 16 ultra rare cards. And unfortunately, the scrapping process has this really annoyingly long animation. Just let me scrap the cards so I can build things. I would rather prefer if some skins, some characters, were only unlockable through actual in-game achievements. You might think that I am not in favor of this system, and no, I think this system actually works fantastic if it allowed players to utilize it more. You're not earning enough packs naturally, so you're not getting enough duplicates, and if you're not getting enough duplicates, you're not getting enough scrap. If the game was more generous, you would then have a steady stream of scrap. I've been playing the game since launch, and I don't even have enough scrap to craft one legendary character. At the time of this recording, I had 1,000 pieces of scrap, and that's really nothing. I haven't crafted any new characters or weapons or anything. I know for some players this is going to vary depending on how much you play and how many duplicates you get, or how often you decide to scrap cards. But for someone like myself who's a bit of a collector, I don't necessarily like scrapping cards unless I have duplicates. It makes the process of obtaining scrap a little difficult. Just with a few tweaks, things would be fantastic with the card system. So one of the problems I have with the packs is that you only get 5 cards in these packs. I know a lot of these packs come with customization items, but an emblem, nobody likes emblems. Whether you're playing Halo or Overwatch or Gears, nobody likes emblems. I do not want to open up an elite pack and get 2 emblems. I just feel robbed. My suggestion is every pack comes with 1 emblem, guaranteed. Add a 6th card that is always an emblem, and that you could only get 1 emblem per pack. I think that will help reduce players' frustration. Another suggestion I would have is why not add booster cards? Cards that help you get more scrap. Cards that just give you more scrap or credits. For example, a booster card, open a pack, you get a booster card instead of an emblem, and that would be a rare, like a 1 in 10 chance or something, right? You open that pack, activate that booster card, and for the next hour, any game, any horde mode that you play, you get 20% extra credits or 20% extra scrap. Open up a pack and boom, you get 200 free credits. Fantastic. I feel like these are just some simple additions that would help reduce frustration and also reward players. And on top of that, right now we do have daily login rewards, but to me it's kind of a joke. When you play games like Overwatch or Warframe, things that reward you for consecutively logging in, it just seems to me like a no-brainer. Have a daily login pack that has 3 cards. I would suggest an emblem, of course, and a horde and versus bounty. Say you log in for a week straight to play the game, then you have a chance of getting, instead of an emblem, but one of the booster cards. That's a good way of rewarding your player base that's logging in to play your game. Right now, I don't like the idea that I log in and I get a horde bounty, survive 50 waves on Insane. I don't have that time to try to win that bounty. But if I log in and I get a versus bounty for get 10 kills and a horde bounty, that to me has way more value. You need to reward the players. You need to offer value to the players that are participating in your game. I will say that a lot of the maps in the game, they're all pretty good, but none really blow me away in terms of looking at the layout of one of the new maps, Glory, is actually suspiciously close to the map Thrashball. Glory in Gears of War 4 is essentially a spiritual successor to Thrashball. And in terms of weapons in Gears of War's multiplayer, I really do like the M-Bar, but I feel that it's a little too overpowered. One shot to the body does 90% damage, which means the enemy player that is hit by it will only have 10 HP left, leaving them vulnerable for a very easy takedown. The Enforcer is a new addition that players in Social and Core can use. It's a bit of an annoying weapon, but it's nowhere near as bad as the Sawed-Off. But just like the Sawed-Off, I feel like it should probably be left as a power weapon and not loadout weapon. Another weapon that I'm kind of mixed because I do like this weapon. I think it's a little overpowered. It's very difficult to tell where it's coming from. The weapon I'm talking about, of course, is a drop shot. I do feel like it's a little too silent. When someone fires it, it's not like completely quiet, but I would like a louder sound, something along the lines of this. Okay, maybe not exactly that, but you get what I'm saying. To touch lightly on the new modes added in Gears of War 4, Arms Race, and I feel like it's definitely a fun game mode, but I don't feel like it's a core game mode. When I look at core game modes in Gears, I think Warzone, Execution, King of the Hill. Looking at the way the game modes are split up, the competitive one makes sense. Escalation is definitely competitive, and I see a lot of MLG types really digging into it. I think it's a good competitive game mode. I do find it a little odd though that Dodgeball is available in the core modes, Not because it's a bad game type, but because I feel like dodgeball is one of those game modes you can't really enjoy unless you're playing with a team of people you know. Dodgeball is definitely a good addition. I think that should be added to the competitive playlist. I think King of the Hill should also have an option to be played in competitive. And I feel like Arms Race should be moved down to the social playlist. They're only found in the social playlist mode. And to quickly wrap up the rest of my thoughts on the Gears of War 4 versus mode, I would say one thing I don't like about the multiplayer, especially in the core modes, is that you can't vote for maps. You could vote for maps in the social playlist, but not in the core playlist or in the competitive playlist. This is a feature I think is sorely missing from Gears of War. I think a lot of players also really enjoy the pre-game lobbies. Pre-game lobbies and the voting for maps is something that is definitely needed in the core and competitive game modes. Another small complaint I had about the versus mode, and this is very small, and it's something that really annoys me. When you kill another player, your character will sometimes say, "That's 1, that's 2, that's 3." And to me, it's just, I don't know who came up with it, but it lacks a lot of character. I miss the catchphrases from the old Gears games. The catchphrases that just like, you know, it exuded character. That's why people would choose to play as certain characters, especially if you're on the COG team. You want to hear their catchphrases. So thank you guys for watching. This is part 1 of 2 videos. Originally, this was going to be one big video talking about the versus mode, the horde mode, and the season pass. But due to some technical errors, I am now going to have to split this up into 2 videos. So the next video, if all goes as planned, we'll be talking about the horde mode, my thoughts on it, my critiques, my suggestions, and the season pass as well. So guys, if you like this video and you want to see more content, and I'll be doing more original content as time goes on, be sure to give me a like, a subscribe, give me a follow on Twitter, all that stuff, you know. But thank you guys very much for listening. I really appreciate it. Guess I'll catch you guys later.